evening, and it is 4th of August at 7:30 in the evening, and I'm doing my chains, oh dear, a little bit different these days. I used to just spin it and spray rock oil chain lube all over it, but I don't do that anymore because I tended to make a real mess. So now I shake it up like that, and then I spray it into the cap, and then I use a toothbrush to apply it in a much more accurate way, which seems to be keeping it all a little bit cleaner than previously. Keeping the bike cleaner than previously. Less, I waste less putting it on, which means there's less to fling off. And normally I would do this when it's warm, but when the chain's warm, but once the bike's running and you're going along the road, it all warms up and melts into the bits that it's meant to melt into. So yeah, I get on with that. But I just thought I'd show you how I'm doing it at the moment, and feel free to comment. Yeah, I'm still not cleaning it off previously. I mean, perhaps this is a better way than just spraying it over the dirt. At least this moves the dirt. Anyway, this is how I'm doing it at the moment, and I've got no rust or anything on the chain. Now, it's looking a bit saggy, but I think we're just all right. Yeah, about 25. Someone did comment saying about checking your chain while it's on a paddock stand. Saying that their manual is saying that the bike should be on the floor, level ground, blah, whatever. I think that's more about oil, isn't it, level ground, but on the floor. And I can't see a difference with it being on a paddock stand at the back with the wheel off the floor, off the ground, or whether it is just stood on the ground. The suspension is in exactly the same position, because if the wheel's on the floor, it's loading up the rear spring via the swing arm, although the wheel's on the floor. With a paddock stand, you're on your bobbins, which is loading up the swing arm and the rear suspension exactly the same way, in it. I can't see a difference in that. So again, tell me in the comments, should I have it on the floor? Does it make any difference? I really can't see that it makes a difference being on a paddock stand on the bobbins, or whether it's the wheel on the floor. So let us know. If I'm doing it wrong, enlighten me, and I'll give it a go another way. I'm not too old to learn new tricks. I'm old enough to be a cantankerous old bastard about being told how to suck eggs. Unless they're ostrich eggs. I haven't sucked an ostrich egg before. So, if you want me to suck an ostrich egg, enlighten me. But yes, this is how I'm doing my chains at the moment. Just thought I'd show that. As I say, before I would just sit here and spray while spinning the wheel, and you can still see residue there where I haven't cleaned the bike. The bike's for riding, not for cleaning. Although I am getting to the stage where I think, yeah, that needs a bit of a clean. But yeah, I would just spray the top section there while spinning it, and then spray the underneath, because obviously as this goes round, that top section there is actually the bottom section here, so the whole lot would get a massive coating. And the next time I went out, so with the wheel and everything else, but while I was spraying it, I'd be spraying the back shock, and yeah, it's obnoxious. I think that's all of it done now. All looks good. All looks good. Residue can go on there. So yeah, let us know. What difference would it make, the wheel being on the floor? I can't see it making any difference. I can't. So there you go. That's how I oil my chain, grease my chain. And now that that one's done, the old donkey, I need to do the Gixxer project, and this needs adjusting. It uses a different paddock stand, uses one of these spring loaded ones, because whoever had it before me or whoever had it before them has knackered the thread and the where you would screw your bobbin in to the swing arm is knackered. So I've put my wire in through it, but I couldn't save that to get a bobbin in there, so I have to use this one, which is a little bit more fiddling and fucking about than the other one, but it does the same job. I've just got to be a bit careful, because you see it there, scratch on there is where the number plate hits it, so I have to be a little bit careful. But anyway, I'll swap them over and I'll adjust the chain with my 36, 12 and 10mm spanners, and I'll let this one down and move it out of the way, so I've got a bit more room with this one. I'm just loving my workshop, so much space. Anyway, I'll swap them over. As I say, it's a bit more involved with the spring loaded one, but it's on there, it's up, it's off the floor. I think I did the chain the other day, yeah, and you can see the Dalmatian wheel, but this has had about 3 chain lubes since the wheel was done, I think, and that's as much as I will get off a single chain lubing, where I used to just stand there and spray it. So not bad, but the chain wants, or does it? Is this another one that's fooled me? Yeah, it's starting to slap the chain guard there. And the old gear changes are getting a bit sloppy. Yeah. I think this is less, this one anyway. I think the V-Strom is about 30mm, 25-30mm slack, and this one is 20 to 25. Have I got the book here? I've got the book here. Let's have a look at the book. Let's have a look at the Bible while I'm here. Check that the drive chain slack isn't excessive and adjust if necessary. Excellent. See chapter 1. So chapter 1:12. Oh, look at that. Measure the distance between the 1st and 21st pins to determine chain stretch. Wow. Never knew that. See, this says about being on the side stand. Push up on the bottom of the run of chain and measure the total up-down slack at a point midway between the two sprockets. Then compare your measurement to that listed in this chapter's specifications, which will probably be at the front of the chapter. Drive chain free play, 20 to 30 mil. 21 pin length, 319.4 millimeters. I won't be doing that. But yeah, this book says have it on the side stand, and if it's on the side stand, the wheel is still on the floor, so the suspension is still under as much load as it would be on a paddock stand. Yeah, no? Sounds about right, doesn't it? So, midway is somewhere there. That's on about 50 mil. And I can't, even pulling it as tight as possible, I can't bring that up to 20 mil, so that's not even 30 mil, so that doesn't need adjusting. It just seemed a bit slack. Now I'll stick it down on its side stand and measure it again and just see if that is any different, because in the book it is saying to put it on its side stand and measure it on that, but I can't see the difference between the back wheel being on the floor, even though it's on the side stand, between the back wheel being on the floor and the swing arm being supported, because the weight of the bike is on the swing arm, and if you put the wheel on the floor, the weight of the bike is on the wheel, but both bits are linked to the suspension and the swing arm pivot. So whether it's on the wheel or held up on the swing arm, it's pivoting on that point, and you know, I'm not putting any extra weight on top of it to compress the bike or anything. But anyway, I'll stick it down on the side stand and take the measurements. Okay, so that's now on its side stand. I usually put them on a bit of wood just to hold it up a bit, which means I can get it tighter to the side of the shed workshop. So we're on the side stand. This is how it's asking in the book, and then again find a place midway along the chain. Yeah, it was on a tight spot, so I think that's about it. About there. So again, midway would be about there. I can't get the ruler's too long. Let me get a shorter ruler. Okay, so midway, be around here somewhere. So again, that's on the 50 mil mark, and yeah, even pushing it hard, I can't get it past the 20 mil mark. So that's exactly the same whether it's on the side stand on its wheel on the floor, whether it's on the side stand with its wheel on the floor or whether it's on the paddock stand, the chain dangle is the same. So the guy who said, in my book it says being on the floor and on the side stand, it makes no difference because you're not loading up the suspension, or you're only loading up the suspension as much as if it was on the floor. And I think that's what you need to avoid. If you, when you sit on it, the bike's sort of like that. Let's have a glove off. So the bike, this will be the front wheel, hello, and this will be the back wheel back here. So it's arching like that, and this would be your swing arm pivot. So when you sit on it, it straightens out a bit, and that's why you want the slack, I believe. So whether it's on its side stand on its wheel or whether it's on a paddock stand makes no difference, is what I'm going to say. But in all fairness, you do it exactly how you want to do it. But I will carry on putting it on the paddock stand because it's just easier. The bike's upright. You can get to both sides easy. You can check the chain easy. You can grease the chain easy. So I'll do that. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it makes no difference whether you're on the side stand with the wheel on the floor or whether it's up on a paddock stand. There you go. That's my findings. Very scientific. Getting too serious from an old age.